Hi everyone, and welcome back to the next part of the Brigid painting. As you can see, I've rearranged my setup so you can actually see me now. I hope that this might be an improvement so you're not just staring at a painting as I'm talking, or maybe I can show you more easily what I'm painting. So this is more of a test to see how it goes. But thank you for tuning in again, and one day these videos are going to be perfect, but right now they're just a bit of an experiment. So yeah, welcome back to the next part of the Brigid painting. I've kind of been very conflicted whether to keep filming the whole process, because I'm like, who's going to watch this, but I'm just going to keep going with it, and even if I have long moments of silence, you can kind of hopefully just enjoy the music and sort of see what I'm doing. So yeah, welcome back. It's great to have you here, and yeah, let's get painting. It's gonna be weird you seeing me because I usually like eat and drink as I'm doing it. I've got my pretzel here, so yeah. Sorry if I start eating. I haven't had my breakfast yet, but yeah, okay, right, so let's get started. This is really weird being filmed as I'm doing this as well now. So I was thinking today, so the last video we focused a bit more on the face, like I still wasn't perfectly happy with the face, and then I ended up actually doing an hour just of it on a time lapse as well. And I don't know if you can see, but I've actually like put in a bit of green for the cloak as well. So today I thought I'd concentrate on because I think this is probably, actually it's pretty dry, like I only did this yesterday, but I mean it's a bit of paint still there. But I think I'm just going to give it one more day to maybe dry. So I thought today we'd focus on all the greenery around the sides, which is all the kind of fun detail. But it is also just very repetitive, so I might kind of try and explain a little bit about what I'm doing. But to be honest, it's all quite similar, so maybe you can just enjoy watching the process. So the first thing I'd usually do is just get up some pictures of like greenery, and because we've got some daffodils and lavender just for like reference material. So usually I get up some pictures, but my internet seems to not be working, so maybe we will leave that for now. So yeah, let's just wing it. Yay! So the general rule of thumb is we want our dark and our light tones. So I'm going to use some Payne's Grey, standard. I always put a bit of raw umber. Now I can do this to you on the palette, because it always comes in handy even when I think I'm not going to use it. I'm going to put some Indian yellow on the palette as well. I mean, you'll probably notice the more you watch that I kind of just use the same colours, to be honest, at the moment. I would like to invest in some more colours soon, but that hasn't happened yet. So yeah, let's get some titanium yellow on there again. It's a really lovely sunny day in England. Like I just feel the sun on my face. It's so nice. We don't get much sun here, and it's only still February, so this is very exciting. So I'm probably going to be going outside today once I've done this video. So yeah, I've got a bit of titanium white, a bit of Italian brown pink lake as well, and these are all Old Holland. I kind of go between Gamblin and Old Holland, but at the moment I seem to be mainly using Old Holland, but I think they're both great. And I try and stay away from any of the cadmium colours, because I actually find that I think they're supposed to be toxic, and I'm working in a small space, so I try not to use toxic colours. This is sap green, so this is going to be one of my main green colours. I don't actually have many green colours, so we are going to just work with what we've got today. And I've got this lovely Gamblin paleo, or yeah, I think that's how you say it. Paleo, bleh, who knows, emerald colour. It's really nice. I'll let you read it because I can't say it. So yeah, we've got a couple of mixtures of green, and I'm actually feeling as well to do some add some maybe purples in, and obviously we've got the yellows of the daffodils, we've got the white snowdrops. What else have we got? Mainly it's leaves, and we've also got like lavender as well, so we do want purple anyway. So let me just get some more purple, getting a nice close-up of my awesome jumper. Okay, cool. So yeah, we've got some, I love this colour. It was a bit of an extravagance, but I love it, and it featured a lot in my last painting of Lilith as well. It's such a lovely colour. It's called Old Holland Bright Violet. It's quite nice having a camera there so I can like show you as I go. Now instead of just watching the painting while I do all this, now you can actually see that I am doing stuff. Okay, I'm trying to make the video nice. You can see my setup there. You see my laptop and my microphone, and go, yeah, it's a bit it's massively experimental at the moment. Payne's grey, just putting some more Payne's grey. So yeah, we're good to go. And I use walnut oil. Again, I keep forgetting to get out the walnut oil to show you what it is. I will get it out for next time. And again, if I don't, just remind me. And I'm going to go straight in with my small brush. So I'm using my standard Raphael Kalinsky zero pointed brush, and I find these last the longest and they're the best for detail. Yeah, I'm still looking for like my favourite brushes, but at the moment these are my favourite, and this is what I'm using. And I've got a bit of walnut oil that I've just dispensed. I used to like use it out of the bottle, and I kept knocking the bottle over and making a mess, and I did it about 3 times before I decided to actually just decant it in there. So that is what I'm doing. So let's get started. I think first it would be nice if we could do the daffodils, wouldn't it? But I would like a reference picture. Nope, okay. No reference for the daffodils, unfortunately. Okay, so let's start with the leaves then. So I'm just going to get a bit of walnut oil and brush it off. I usually use like a bit of tissue paper as well to get the paint off, and the oil just to, yeah, dampen the colours and just never have more than you expect on your brush. And yeah, let's go a bit crazy. So I love painting leaves and greenery. It can feel quite like a meditation because you can be very free, like nature is extremely free, and yeah, and it feels like you can't really make a wrong move, unlike when you're working with faces. So I'm just getting a bit of walnut oil, and I'm just getting a bit of the emerald colour, just getting a little bit off my brush, and then I'm just going to start going in. I'm not sure how well you're going to be able to see this, to be honest. I really need a better camera. I'll try and move it along as I work. So now I'm going to be working, maybe if I focus in this little area here. I mean, now it's like right in front, look, it's right in front of my face, like now you can see the issues I have. But I really want you to see what I'm doing. Okay, I'm going to have to move it a little bit back. And I'm just going to go in like and shade some of those areas, and yeah, you can use your hand or a dry brush or whatever, and I'm actually going to mix it a bit with raw umber as well, just to dampen, because it is very, very bright green, just to dampen that colour. You can see me painting now, it's weird. So I'm just going along all the stalks, maybe getting in more of those shaded areas with the raw umber and the emerald. It'd be really great to have some reference images right now. Picking out those dark areas, and we can always go back in and get the, like, you know, like the veins on a leaf. We can always go back afterwards, but I'm just gonna, oh man, I need reference pictures. I can't remember what leaves look like. Oh wow. We'll make our own leaves, guys. One day these videos are going to be flawless and I'm going to really know what I'm doing and be super prepared for this. But until then, thank you for watching this and sticking with me. I kind of learn as I go. I think it's good to also have a little dry brush on the side that has no oil on, just so you can maybe blend out some of the work you're doing as well. It's like putting on the colour and then almost brushing it back again. I think that's better. I think you can see more now, can't you? It's too far away earlier. So as you can see, it's just extremely repetitive, just getting that other tone in. I do have a picture behind you with some leaves on, so I'm just kind of looking at that every now and then just to get a bit of inspiration. Yeah, we don't want to forget the background, so we can go in with a bit of green in the background, maybe a bit of Payne's grey and emerald green, just to try and, you know, because it's not, I don't want to ignore the background. I'm just dabbing that emerald green and that Payne's grey just in those little crevices and making them darker. There it is, yeah. And it's nice because we can actually blend some of these dark colours onto the greenery, and it can kind of keep, you know, pushing them back and bringing them forward and everything. Yeah, so I think you can kind of see what I'm doing now. It's gone from a very subtle green up here to, you know, now I'm putting in more of these emerald and brighter colours. It's really bringing them out, and just like with these veins on the leaves, like giving it some more detail. Then I'm going to mix a bit of sap green and white, so I'm going for like maybe a paler green with a dash of emerald, just to maybe bring in some other green tones. Like, and that feels quite bright, so let's push it back a bit with some more sap green and some raw umber. I'm just getting that in the lighter areas of the leaf. I haven't used much walnut oil, but you can see it's still quite translucent, and it just builds on all the layers that are already there, and I feel like it just makes it a bit more three-dimensional as well. See if I can find some reference material. And if you are an artist yourself, like, I know I keep saying it, but yeah, always come back to the reference material, unlike me, where I start painting and I haven't got any. Oh, it's because my internet's disconnected. I hope this is still filming. Here we go. Yep, so I'm just gonna get some like images of nature. I don't know what to type in. I've typed in leaves, but it hasn't come up with much. Maybe I could type in woodland. And again, I'm not copying the images, but I'm just using them for reference. Get some lovely green colours or something. Yeah, sometimes it might take a while to figure out what you want. Looking for some images, not having much luck. Got some pictures of leaves there. Okay, we'll just work with that for a while. Now I've just gone on with a bit of titanium yellow, and you can see how much brighter that is, but we don't want it too bright everywhere. So just in some places where you really think that, you know, the light's gonna hit, just like working out the shapes of these leaves, blending it back again. And like for the very kind of crazy highlights, like this little bit on the leaf, we can go in with a lot more titanium yellow as our like final highlight, and then go back to our darker colour. And trust yourself to, like, you know, mix the colours, you know, whatever reference material and you're looking at. I think it's a general rule of thumb, isn't it, where the dark and the light and the mid-tones go, it doesn't necessarily matter what tones you're using. Yeah, the main thing is that you're just kind of, I suppose, following a guideline or the rules, if that makes sense. Probably doesn't. Going in again with some of those darker colours over the leaves. It feels more like a wash at the moment. Buffing it out again. Almost feels like a glaze, doesn't it? Maybe that's what we'll do. We'll just do more of a glaze. Sorry, I'm getting a call. I think we're back. I wonder if that cut out when someone calls me. So I'm using my, you probably see, I don't know, but I'm filming on my phone. They are not getting the message. So I'm just going in with that darker glaze over the grass, and you can already see it's like really picked out those colours. Doesn't that look nice? And again, this is another like really lovely easy technique. It's just putting on a bit of paint. I've got a bit of medium on there. I'm also going to brush a bit of green on the side of the horns just to blend it more into the background, and also these bits. So now I'm just going in a bit haphazardly and getting in a lovely green glaze. But I'm just looking back at the painting, and I do want to, I don't know how green I actually want to go. So maybe it's good to start using some browns. So my Italian brown and the raw umber, I can even go in and just like brush some of those colours on as well. So maybe it's good to use kind of a mixed glaze, putting in some browns as well, so it's not just all about the green. Let's go back to these big leaves down here because we're not necessarily finished these yet. Think about where we're going to put those light greens and those dark greens. And if you don't like something, just scrub it out and do it again. Time for a smoothie break. It's a good smoothie, I have it every day. Give me a message and I'll send you the recipe. Yes, I'm still doing the same thing really. Just filling in those leaves, trying to really get those shapes in those light and dark areas. Can you read that? That's so funny. I wonder how to turn off my messages. Well, that's what I will do for next time, is I will work out how to turn my messages off and stop people calling while we're filming. Oh, there's just so many things I just haven't thought about yet. I'm just going in with a bit of titanium yellow just to pick out some of the grass. How's it looking? It's definitely taking more shape and looking more detailed, isn't it? My hope is one day I can get a really good camera that you can see the detail so much better. Maybe I can work a way to zoom in as well, so I don't have to have this like camera in my face like this. Like I'm just gonna walk into it. It's quite weird to paint. I've got like my microphone over here and my camera over here. It's so weird. Feels almost a little bit claustrophobic, or like I can't really see properly. You guys probably know more about this than me, so let me know if you have any better ideas on how to do this. I would really appreciate it. What I love about oil paints is we can just go back and keep adding more and more glazes and layers, so you never have to worry about making colours too bright or being a bit bolder with the brush strokes, you know, because you can always go back in and change it later. I always have this moment of, are we recording? Yes, I think we're recording. Let's find some pictures of snowdrops. Let's mix this up a bit, because the greenery is just going to be very samey for a while, so it's probably good if we just cover the flowers and the leaves, and then I can just do a time lapse, a fast forward, so you can just see it all come together. Then we will go from there. Oh no, I've got paint on my new laptop. Whoops. Sorry, laptop. Okay, so we've got some lovely pictures of snowdrops. Don't know if you can see. Yeah, if I move it, oh no, if I move it here, yeah, can you see the snowdrops like just there? Just use that for a bit of reference. So for this, I think we're going to mainly need white, and we are going to maybe use a bit of green and just Payne's grey, so the white's not too bright. So for the shade, I'm going to be using Payne's grey. It's a bit of white and Payne's grey going on there. Going to go in with the brighter areas, a bit of white. I think we need a little bit of walnut oil, or whatever oil. Sorry, I kind of talk as if everyone else is painting, but I suppose for those that are interested in painting, whatever oil you choose to use, like I think there's safflower, linseed. I like walnut because it doesn't smell too much. I can barely smell it, whereas linseed, it would just stink out the whole room. It's a very strong smell. And I think it's worth looking into how, I think because some of these things can spontaneously combust. So it's definitely worth educating yourself on how safe these things are and how to safely dispose of rags and anything that you use the oil on, because I think linseed oil I was using for ages and I didn't realise that it could spontaneously combust, and the whole time I'd just been like putting it in my bin, and I was like, oh no, we don't want to start a fire. So you can see I'm just doing the petals, white for the highlights, Payne's grey for the low lights, the shadows. And it's quite nice to keep it a bit, rough. It doesn't have to be perfect. And then we can go back in there with some greens, maybe some grey greens. I don't always want to cover up the underpainting because sometimes you've got some nice brush strokes there, but it doesn't matter if you do. Just doing the stems again. I think my paint's just too dry, so I'm just gonna get that in there. See this before, but they've got these little leaves that come over them. This is why reference material is great, because you didn't notice things before. Got these little leaves that come over the top, so I'm just going to put them in there. So yeah, for those who don't paint so much, you can see how long how long it takes. It's a very long process, but an exciting process. And I suppose for me it's almost like I just try and enjoy it, because sometimes it can be quite a little bit frustrating, like, oh, I need to paint faster and it's not looking how I want it to look. So it's quite a good test, a mental test, to just stick with it and be patient. It's a test in patience, and yeah, just to stick with it. At the moment I've been doing about an hour on it each day so I can record. But yeah, personally I'd probably someone who likes to paint and work for longer periods of time, but because I'm filming I don't have I don't have it in me. But usually I'd maybe work for, like, 8 hours or whatever, sometimes longer, and just, I think sometimes you get into it more and you stop thinking so much about what you're doing. I think sometimes just these hour slots, like, especially when I'm filming, I can really overthink maybe what I'm doing, but that's kind of part of it, isn't it? It's part of it. But yeah, already you can see these colours appearing, and the snowdrops are adding something, and we can always push them back because they are quite bright at the moment, but we can always push them back. That's important to remember. And oh, I think I forgot to do these little bits in the middle, so they look kind of, we've got some green in there, so let's put a bit more green. I think I need a new brush. I feel like I'm losing the point on this one. It's really hard not to stop being like, oh, how does my hair look? I'm on camera. You go, I just got a new block fringe recently, what do you think? I have a bit of change in lockdown, don't we? Okay, let's get some colour on these little green. Just going in with some sap green. So again, I'm just going in with my lighter greens in some areas, which is sap green, and my darker green in other areas, which is my emerald green, and I'm using a mixture of Payne's grey and raw umber to change the shades, and white and titanium yellow to bring out the highlights. But yeah, sorry if that's boring and you guys aren't painters or aren't just interested in watching. Sorry if I hope you don't mind the kind of technical aspects of it as well. really losing the point on this brush. I think I'm going to have to order some more. It's not ideal for the details. Yeah, it's good to mix up the tones. I don't know if you can see, but this area is a bit more yellowy, whereas these I've used more of the darker emerald green colour. It's nice, you get a nice mixture that way. And then I quite like this tone of like brighter green, so that we can just go in more and just define those shapes a bit clearer, and with maybe a similar shade. Because when you do it so quickly, sometimes it's a little bit messy, which is also okay, but I want it a bit tidier. I'm just going in with some dark just to change the shape of that a little bit. I think it was too thick. And I don't know what these flowers are, I kind of just made them up. Kind of thought of them as a bit like dandelions or something, so I'm just going to maybe put like maybe a white where they are. Definitely need more medium as well for the more detailed bits. Yeah, I'm not quite sure what's happening there, but we shall just go with it for now. I was thinking of these little kind of dots I've done as like little flowers or something, so we can put that there and then just brush it back a bit. Maybe the same over here, just like brush that colour back a bit. Quite like it a bit smudgy actually, it looks a bit more, I don't know, magical, a bit more enchanted. Little dots of light. do you think? It's coming together, isn't it? It's amazing how just such a small bit, a small amount of attention can just like suddenly bring it alive. As I said before, it never looks how I think it's going to look or how I planned it to look, ever. But that's also like exciting because you're like, oh, what am I going to get? Am I going to like this one? Massively trusting the process. Right, I'm just going to go back in the background maybe again with some raw umber and emerald green in these areas because I don't want them to be just neglected space. Can also darken the edges of the stalks and the tree and the leaves. Quite enjoying doing this greenery. It's very free, it's a lot more free than the face. Okay, now these little clovers, I think we all probably know what clovers look like. They're lovely bright green, aren't they? Say that and then I'm going to get the colour completely wrong, so I'm just going to like go over them. This lovely bright greeny colour. Just get their shapes in. Roughly where I think the clovers are going to be. And you can always kind of add some in, like, you know, where you maybe weren't expecting to put them. Like we could have a little clover over here. Maybe another one over here. Sometimes the more detail the better. Yeah, we just keep adding clovers if we want. Got a nice colour going on here. Could put some over here and then like later on blend them back because obviously maybe they'll be darker. But actually, I don't know if you remember from my original design, I've got loads of detail. Yeah, that's it. I've got loads of detail actually coming off the horns, so maybe we don't want to, after I've done all that, maybe we don't want to go too crazy with the clovers. But I do like adding all this detail. I think it adds dimension and really brings it alive. The great thing is we can always just keep coming back and adding more as well. some extra bits and bobs coming off everywhere. But it is okay to have dark space and leave things relatively blank. I used to always be afraid of leaving areas of just large kind of plain colours or space or darkness, but sometimes it really adds. And the thing is, we can always, because you know it's going to be quite dark over it, we can always go back and push it back as well, so we never have to worry about that. But you can really see, like, I feel like it's really coming together now, and yeah, bringing the painting out and all the colours out. And yeah, I feel like I've been working on the face for so long now that it's really nice to kind of concentrate on other aspects of it now. I feel like it's really coming together. My celebratory dance. I can't talk today. I'll be surprised if anyone's watching this, but if you are, thank you. You can see what a nutter I am. Right, okay, I'm going to just get some pictures of daffodils up, because I would like to show you how I'm going to do the daffodils, because I'm probably going to have to log off soon. I reckon we've nearly been at this for an hour. Here we go, some lovely daffs. Some lovely daffs. There you go, that will do for now. There's so many pictures. Which to choose? Oh, here's a lovely one. We're probably going to need some maybe oranges as well. So have like a red, yellow, white, titanium white, Indian yellow, and then I might be using like Payne's grey again for like any shadows and stuff. So if you look at a daffodil, they're kind of obviously quite bright yellow, so I'm using titanium yellow, a bit of Indian yellow, maybe a tiny bit of white as well. Get this bright yellow colour and a bit of walnut oil. And I'm actually going to try and get a lot of the paint off my brush so I can try and get it as pointy as I possibly can. As the background music stopped. No, I think we're good. Okay. So I've mixed a lovely bright yellow, and now I'm just gonna, how much can you see? Yeah, we good? Okay. Just gonna go on these petals, maybe need a bit more walnut oil. It's not actually that yellow, is it? There we go. I'm keeping my brush strokes quite free. Putting more colour on at the front in the foreground where it might be brighter. Maybe over here, you know, it's only going to catch a bit of the light. And I'll just do it on all the petals as well. I've got 3 daffs down here. I think it's the kind of, let me get another picture. Where are your daffodils? There you are. I mean, yeah, all these pictures are so different, aren't they? Okay, here's a close-up. So I'll put a bit of yellow on kind of the stalky bit. Maybe we'll keep that quite orange. And while we're here, I'll just do the same on the other side over here, because we've got all these daffodils here. So same again, just putting on those bright colours. The petals, maybe add a bit more oil. Maybe a bit less obvious on the back. Can't even remember what was happening with that flower. Yeah, it's got a little petal here. I suppose we do need to outline it where it's lost the shapes. Oh, sorry, I'm behind the board now. Hello. I'll be back in a minute. So you see I'm just doing the same again on this side. I mean, once you've got the colours mixed, sometimes it is easier just to do all those bits at the same time for continuity and all that. Lovely jubbly. Last one over here. This one's lost a bit of its shape. I've got my drawing over there, so I can refer to that when I'm not clear what I'm doing, what it's supposed to look like. So in this one I've kind of lost a lot of the shape, so I'm actually just using these colours to get that shape back. So these colours probably will have to be pushed back a bit later. Okay, and we'll bring it back, and can you see me now? Yeah, all good. So it takes my brain a moment to work out, because I've like got you see me everywhere now. Cool, yeah. So I'm just going to put a bit more bright on this one. Look at the reference, Grace. Stop pretending you know what a daffodil looks like. Okay, I'm going to mix a bit of an orangey colour, so I'm going to use a lot more Indian yellow. I think that's a really nice orangey colour for daffodils. I love Indian yellow, I use it so much. It's really good for skin tones as well. Okay, so I'm just putting some more orangey tones, and then maybe like orangey in the middle as well. Same on the others. Orangey, bit of orangey tone here and here. And we can always darken that up later. Same on this side. Oh, you can't see. Bit of orangey here in the middle. All these pictures of daffodils look a little bit different, so just go with whatever reference you like the best, or whatever you want. It's free, it's completely whatever you want. This is your creativity. What do you want it to look like? You can make up a new flower if you wanted, you know. cool. I'm really enjoying these daffodils. I think they look quite, I don't know, quite funky. So here we go, like you can see that little area that we've worked on compared to maybe this area. Hopefully you can really tell the difference in everything that we've gone through together today. So yes, this is where we are at. I might just need to plug in my laptop because I think we don't want it dying while I'm recording. Bear with me. I hope you like my funky jumper today. It's got dinosaurs. I wasn't expecting to film myself today, so I didn't actually dress for the occasion. Okay, how are we doing? Yeah, okay, we'll do a little bit more before we call it a day, and then either I'll do a fast time lapse of the whole thing, of all the greenery in the background, because I feel like we've kind of gone through most of what we wanted. So I mean the last thing would be maybe the lavender over here. Maybe we can do a bit of that quickly. Let's see, so I'm just using a bit of the violet and white, and maybe we can just like do a little glaze, like not much detail but just putting the colour and seeing how it looks. Can you see that? It's very faint. It's probably not purple, not lilac-y enough, sorry. Oh, that's better, look at that. That's nice, isn't it? It's a better lilac colour. Just going to brush it over. So I'm just putting on a bit of lilac here. So we'll leave that there for today. So today we went through the greenery, and yeah, I might do some more videos on that. If you're really enjoying watching the whole process, like let me know, and I'll keep filming me painting live. But if it's too much, I can always do some time lapses in between, because it is a long process. But thank you again for joining me, and look forward to hearing how you found the video, and thank you so much for being my patron if you're on my Patreon site. So thank you so much, and have a wonderful day. Bye everyone. Bye.